Sunday edition. It's the Sunday edition of the news, part 2. That's right, folks, part 2. And here's this was a case that was started like back in 2017. So this surveillance video played in Manhattan court Friday showed the moment an ex-NYPD cop pummeled, that means beat the hell out of a mentally ill man in a housing project. The guy was handcuffed. In the footage, which has no audio, former officer Elijah Sedin can be seen struggling with Jeremy Santiago, then 19 years old, near the Fulton House's elevator banks on February 24, 2017. At one point, Saladin stands over Santiago, who is on the ground, while the cop's partner, Natalie Roman, shouts, "He's about to bite you," Roman testified Friday, filling in on the missing audio. Saladin then reportedly punches Santiago on the side of the head, according to the video. Roman tries to grab Saladin's arm to stop him from hitting Santiago, barking, "That's enough," according to her testimony. The video was introduced while Roman was on the stand on the first day of Saladin's assault and offering a false instrument trial in Manhattan Supreme Court. Another camera angle shows Saladin dragging Santiago, still cuffed behind his back, to a rear hallway and slugging him repeatedly in the ribs. "What the fuck are you doing?" His partner stated, and that's what she testified in court. Santiago's face was covered in blood and required stitches after the incident. The defendant brutally assaulted a defenseless, handcuffed Jeremy Santiago, the district attorney stated. Before the incident, prosecutors in Santiago said Santiago was sleeping on a 25th floor stairwell landing after he had a fight with his brother who lives in the building. Saladin and his partner Raul Santiago, who suffers from bipolar and schizophrenia, then checked with his brother to confirm he wasn't trespassing, but his brother, still annoyed from the spat, denied knowing who he was, prosecutors said. Roman testified that Santiago drew increasingly agitated and slammed his head against the wall as he wailed, "I do not want to go to jail." Saladin cuffed from behind, and the officers escorted him downstairs where the fight occurred and Santiago was arrested. Prosecutors argued that Saladin lied about the attack in written reports to his supervisors. So he was fired from the fired in September after NYPD administrative hearing found him guilty of misconduct related to the incident. He got fired, and he's still gonna be able to collect his pension. Boy, I'm telling you, you know that ain't right. Here we go. Story number 2 here is our teacher resigns after making a stupid statement. An Iowa high school teacher who made a comment about using a sniper rifle on a teen climate change activist, Greta Thunberg, who has resigned, according to a report Friday. Matt Bayish, who taught chemistry at Waterloo West High School, posted the off-color remark on Facebook last week after a former student asked who's all going to the 16-year-old Iowa City rally. Bayish responded that he wouldn't be attending because he doesn't have a sniper rifle. The comment sparked outrage, with parents noting the young activist is the same age as his students, and he was placed on administrative leave earlier this week, according to the outlet. On Friday, the Waterloo School's rep confirmed Bayish had resigned, according to a report. West High School and the district are working to ensure classroom instruction continues for courses impacted by the departure. Bayish didn't respond to a request for comment from BuzzFeed. So a lot of people, if you don't know who Greta Thunberg is she's a young 16-year-old kid, is like a political activist. She's trying to do something about helping the climate, and so she's a climate activist. And from I think she might be from Denmark or someplace in Europe, but she actually appeared before the United Nations since she did that, of course, the DC dunce made some stupid comments about her, and a few other so-called adults have made stupid comments about her. She's a kid. The kid's scared to death, and about what's going on with the climate. Thinking, well, hey, we might not be able to survive. With this global warming and all this other stuff that's going on. So, I don't know what's going on with these adults today. They're out here attacking kids, verbally and trying to diminish what they're saying, like it's not worth listening to, and it is. It's worth listening to. You gotta listen to these kids. They got some knowledge. Everybody has knowledge, so hey, let's give them a shot. They might have the cure for cancer, or the cure for redneck stupidity. You never know. Here's a story here about something that's going on, and it's called the LA people. Why are these people sleeping in stacked pods in LA? And it says, the other evening I visited Eddie, a new co-living complex in Hollywood, tucked away on a residential block that used to be bungalows. It has the styling of a hip boutique hotel. People carry branded metal water bottles that say "Live, Dream, Connect." The gym has a Peloton bike, butterfly chairs encircle the backyard fire pit, and the co-working space from a vending machine. You can grab a grain bowl or overnight oats. Each of Eddie's 4-bedroom furnished apartments has a gleaming kitchen with a big island and professional-grade stainless steel appliances and a spacious living room. The custom-made sectional is deep, perfect for sinking into for a movie on a large flat-screen TV for rents that top out per person at $945 a month. But here's the catch. Each single-sex unit is designed to accommodate 18 men or 18 women. Each diminutive bedroom has a private bathroom, 4 to 6 adults in a small stacked rectangular spaces called pods, just wide enough for a mattress and high enough to sit but not stand on top of it. They reminded me of a sleeping berth you might find in a luxury railway car or a rock band's touring bus. I crawled into one to get the feel. At my feet was a privacy curtain, and while from the sheets to wall safe to mattress to noise muffling ceiling fan, the space was comfortable and well outfitted. I felt the snugness of it and the nearness of the walls, and I quickly had to crawl out. Still, I'll be first to admit that I don't fit this type of housing prime demographic, and single people in their 20s and 30s relatively early on their working lives. Space maximizing pod housing makes up a tiny part of the city's overall housing mix, but it quietly is popping up in neighborhoods all over Los Angeles right now. It may well have moved in somewhere near you so discreetly that you don't even know. In the middle of an affordable housing crisis, it's easy to understand why was aimed mostly at short stays, tourists, new transplants is now being taken up as long-term housing option. The headlines tend to emphasize space costs versus cost, sometimes more than $1,000 for glorified bunk beds. And if you stop right there and roll your eyes and say, for that price, why not rent a private room with the door? I think you might miss out some of what's driving this kind of communal living. So we have, they've been doing stuff like this in Japan for a long time. So it's like when you go inside, just say you go into a room, they've taken the wall down in the room, and it's open on one side, so you got pods. So each pod is like, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you got 8 pods. Each one of those pods is a sleeping quarters for a person to sleep in. So you slide into your little pod, you got little curtains on the other end, and you have to, you got to, share a bathroom, You get share kitchen and stuff like that. And if you get a chance to go to LA, you'll discover why this stuff is happening, because they have a real bad housing problem there. Gentrification is going on, and the landlords in Los Angeles have raised the rents so high to try to drive out the people that are living in these properties, so they can get the people to come in that's going to spend more money for an apartment. So that's driving a lot of people actually out on the street. So it's homeless people all over the whole entire city of Los Angeles, where it used to be kind of centrally located downtown. It's everywhere now, in alleys, under like overpasses, like on the freeway. I mean, down streets, you can see people that might have 20 or 30 shopping carts connected together, and they pushing that stuff going down the street like it's a train going down the street. It's really sad. It's really truly sad, and it's all because of the greed of the owners of these particular properties, because Los Angeles is going through a reconstruction. Like I said, you got they kind of like trick the minorities moving out to the suburbs, and the white people are doubling back, moving back to the city. So gentrification is live and well in effect, and it's happening in every major city right now. On the west side of Chicago, it's happening in Harlem, it's happening all over the country. So this is a real deal. It's a real thing that's happening. And actually, what they did in that tax bill that they passed in the Senate, it's a stat inside the tax bill that made it a tax write-off and a real big huge tax break for anybody that did anything for like urban development. Now, what they were supposed to be was urban development in minority neighborhoods, but what they started doing was they started getting all these tax breaks and this money, and they've been doing it, building high-rise condos and doing a lot of stuff that's next to the hood. So that's they're using that, and they're building up places like around downtown LA, and they're charging $1 million for these condos when they should have been going 8 blocks in the other direction, trying to refurbish those houses in the Hispanic and the black communities, but they're not using it for that. So this was part of your tax bill, and Jared Kushner is one of the people that had his company has been in every major city. They're doing it in LA, they're doing it in Seattle, they're doing it in Harlem, they're doing it all over the country, in Chicago. So his company's making, they expect to make a 75% return on their money the first year. So tax break for the rich, and you get a chance to foot the bill. You get a chance to be homeless too. Wake up!